What's up, everyone? Welcome to Nerd On Update Show.
There you go, Tom.
Yep, that's
Branding.
it.
Continuity.
The weekly show. Yep, the weekly show where we talk about the new news that we enjoy and want to talk about. And then the second part where we answer questions from you, the listeners, and also from the live chat from the live stream that we're talking about. Since I always open, we never introduce Tom, Josh, or Corey as hosts. Go ahead, Corey, and give us that news.
So Microsoft, Microsoft is what? Oh yeah, it is a train wreck.
I'm Thomas the train wreck.
Microsoft is teaming up with a company called Mainframe to make a cloud-based MMO RPG. It's kind of going to be the first of its kind. Xbox and Microsoft have always kind of been pushing cloud gaming, whether we wanted it or not at the time. But the cool thing about this one is that Mainframe and Microsoft are kind of making this game that no matter where you are or what device you're playing on, it'll fit that medium. So it's an MMORPG, right? So we're going to have raids, we're going to have dungeons, but let's say you're at work on your lunch break, you could pull out your phone and maybe do some crafting or some material gathering or something small like that. And then when you get home to your PC or your Xbox, you can jump in and do the full raids and the full dungeons.
And the save just
like
continues just like the usual
Correct.
like MMO thing where it's like, oh, I'm just going to pick up where I left off.
Right. But with it being cloud-based, it should be instantaneous. No matter where you are, you should be able to log into the same server without having to have any sort of issue like that. And it should recognize what device you are gaming on in order to scale to that content. We do have a name, and I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, but I read it as Pax Dei, and it's PAX space DEI. I'm pretty excited about this. Especially excited about it scaling the complexity depending on the device that you're on fluidly. So yeah, as an MMO RPG player, this seems really fascinating to me because playing an MMO RPG on my phone seems pretty great. So looking forward to it.
I mean, I could tell you from a little bit of experience of playing with an MMO RPG on your phone. Have an external battery, have a charger nearby, turn off all the other apps, and
I was just going to ask.
Well, not quite to this. I think
exist?
Genshin Impact is what he's talking about,
Yeah.
but not quite to this scale. So this is going to be what I'm understanding is it's the scale of like Guild Wars or World of Warcraft or something like that. So yeah, looking forward to it. Who's next?
I'll go next just so we can bookend with some positive. This one was a little bit hard to even just put together the notes for. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since it happened. But on Thursday, on the set of Rust in Santa Fe, New Mexico, a prop gun misfired, wounding the director, Joel Souza, but killing cinematographer Helena Hutchins. The gun was being held by Alec Baldwin. Since then, a warrant was issued, an affidavit was brought out to the public, and some things that have come up are the morning of the union crew members. Some of the union crew members for the camera crew walked out due to poor working conditions, including housing, payment, and working conditions. New Mexico is a right-to-work state, which means that the production was allowed to just continue to keep on going with non-union members. The gun in question had misfired a number of times in the past few weeks. The gun was used, and I've seen this on a few sources, and I don't have a confirmation for this, but it has been on a few sources that the gun was used earlier in the day for actual live round target practice. Baldwin, at the time when he was handed the gun, was told that the gun was cold, meaning that it had no live ammunition loaded. Crew members have specifically noted that Baldwin's it was always incredibly safe and observed all safety protocols. And yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it just because it's reading. I read the affidavit, and there's just so many places that it's like, wow, that should have been checked. There's,
Yeah.
I know that Tom has some things to say about because we were having a conversation about it, but
Yeah.
It's
Before you get in there, I also want to jump in and say that I was watching this interview with another prop master, and he was urging people to stay away from the usage of misfire, because misfire actually technically means when it doesn't fire properly. So
Yeah.
this would actually be like a live round was shot on set.
yeah, it was like an
So
accidental
misfire-
discharge.
Correct. Yeah, accidental discharge, or it wasn't even an accidental discharge because it was shot
It
on
worked
purpose. but-
properly,
yes, correct.
but it had a
That's-
round in there.
He was urging people to find the right terminology, because it was an accident in the sense that nobody meant to shoot anyone, but it was not a misfire. It's what happened.
The weapon
Yeah.
was properly in proper working condition.
Correct.
And the other
And-
thing that I think some people that might not know are, my understanding is that it was a live round, but what people don't know up until this point, some people, is that blanks are still dangerous. They still have things within them to
It's
even.
what killed Brandon Lee.
Yeah, exactly. There's still like
with the
stuff
Brandon
in
Lee
there.
one, the dummy round had left a cap in the barrel, and no one cleared the barrel. Firing the blank basically turns the gun back into a bullet if it's not cleared properly after every shot.
Yeah,
It's you just need the proper safety protocols, and there's a lot of, I think, if you look on the internet, you took like a 20-minute Google search and looked at social medias and stuff like that. It's it's very divided amongst where blame should be pointed at, and who pretty much a lot of people kind of yelling in one direction or the other direction. I think it's more important to kind of just realize like this was a tragedy overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more important things to learn is just trying to maintain a proper, safe environment to shoot. I think it's been pretty enlightening to see certain directors who have used guns on their set and kind of give some light on the situation, on the tragedy. And a lot of the things that you mentioned, Josh, that have been said, again, this is kind of like an ongoing developing
yeah,
story that we're always learning more information about, but a lot of things just feel like this wouldn't happen on a more tighter set.
No, there's protocols and people who do these sorts of things for a living, and there's a reason they should be followed.
Yeah, there is this weird, in a weird tangent of things of people who love actors doing their own stunts, and a lot of directors kind of coming out saying like, we have to stop having this weird pissing contest that takes away from stunt coordinators and stunt performers. And that's the same thing with props and stunts like that, where it's like it's not the AD's job to give the actor this prop. It's the prop master. It's the armor.
Or the armor.
And so it's one of those things where it's like there's a lot to be learned, and I think hot dogging it, whether you're in the production side or on the performative side, or whether you're part of the crew and cast, it's a very terrible thing that I feel like kind of has created a cloud over the entire industry in a way. Like I kind of felt like this past weekend, there's no kind of point. It felt very weird to be happy about anything when like this kind of really strikes close to home for a lot of us. Like there are people that I know that have worked with Helena, so it's like really weird that's like, oh, this got really close.
yeah,
And it's really sad to hear my friends mourning their friend, in a way. So
yeah. Everything that I've read about Hutchins is that she was an incredible giving person, like within the industry and whatnot. And yeah, that's my news, Tom.
we'll bring it back, and I know people who've been listening to this program have definitely heard us talk about a particular actor that we enjoy, and we love to ingest more of him. One in particular is of a Mr. Brendan Fraser.
Yes.
And it is come out today. And I want to say like this: This doesn't feel like one of those good old fashioned Warner Brothers covering up some controversy kind of cast announcements. Like Jason Momoa
Like Jason
being
Momoa is
Frosty
the Snowman.
This is the only reason I say that is because it has been confirmed by Miss Barbara Gordon herself, Leslie Grace, who will be in DC's Batgirl film for HBO Max that it will release sometime in 2022. And Brendan Fraser, why he comes in the mix, it was just been announced that he will portray Firefly as the main film's primary antagonist and villain. So if you're not familiar with Firefly, the old origin of this character, Garfield Lins is the name of the character, who was tell me if this sounds familiar, worked in movies and special effects. And when he tries to rob a place by, setting off a fake fire somewhere else, and is fooled by Batman and Robin. Batman and Robin see a firefly, and they think it's like one of the sparks from his fire. So they chase after that direction. And that gives him the idea, like, maybe I should become a firefly because that's like a godsend. And so that's that story.
So he called himself Mysterio. And then
he got rewritten to be Jake Gyllenhaal, and then he never actually wears a suit. It's always CGI. It's Brendan Fraser, the Renaissance is coming. People are very excited about it. It's really cool that he has dipped his toes into the world of comic books and comic book adaptations with Doom Patrol. If you have not watched that, he plays Mr. Robot, or is it Mr. Robot? I think it's Mr. Robot. Or Robot Man, and it's great. And
he's really great in it.
He's good, and I think it'll be very interesting. So far with the Batgirl movie coming out, J.K. Simmons will be reprising his role as Commissioner James Gordon, or Jim Gordon.
Nice.
That being said, it's very weird that they have all but announced that Ben Affleck would be portraying his version of Batman into this film. The directors, who are best known for Bad Boys for Life, they are directing this film. It's two of them. Their names escape me at this moment, but they have taken a lot of pictures with Ben Affleck's Batman cowl. So a lot of people are just like, just announce it. Just say it. Just say it's gonna happen.
Just announce it.
Yeah. So that is it for me. That's all the news. Brendan Fraser coming to join the DCEU. I believe it's DCEU because J.K. Simmons is in it. It's part of the
sounds like it
extended Snyderverse, if you will. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I hope everyone listening is too.
Sweet.
Other than that, that's all the questions I got. Josh, you want to take over from here?
Yeah. So the next part of our show is in which we answer questions from you, the people. And if you would like to submit questions, there's a very easy place that you can go, and that is nerdon.tv/questions. And it has all of the ways that you can submit questions, including a form, an email. The Discord server is probably the easiest and where most people are submitting their questions. So check that out, nerdon.tv/discord. But also you can join us on Mondays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at nerdon.tv/Twitch. And we also take questions from the chat either that day or we save them and answer them in other episodes. If you would like to get your questions at the front of the line, you can join that Nerd On Nation and get what we call the Nerd On Nudge. So check that out, nerdon.tv/Patreon. But you can ask questions like Mamba asks, some people don't know that there are some fast food places that have a secret menu, which is a combination of different foods slapped together. What is one secret menu meal that you have tried or interested in trying out?
It's a really good question. The one I learned from a video Tom sent me was getting the peppers on the In-N-Out burger. That kind of changed the game for me.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, you can order it like that?
Yeah. You can get it with pickled jalapeno peppers, like pepperoncinis essentially on it. They just have they just have it back there. It's not on any menu. It's not on any item regularly, but you can just say with pepperoncinis or with peppers, and they'll throw it on there, and it's really, really good.
Oh man!
And then their Neapolitan milkshake is a choice. Josh is learning a lot of things tonight. You never knew that In-N-Out does it in Neapolitan?
No, I didn't. I knew that they
three.
had like a secret menu, but I didn't know like the details of said secret menu.
Yeah, man. There you go.
So is it up to me now for
Yes,
secret
you go, Tom.
item? I mean 4x4s, right? You know, like what else are secret
With the peppers.
items? Yeah, I mean
4x4 with the peppers.
4x4 with the peppers. I mean, there's always the Flying Dutchman, which is the low carb animal style. Pretty much of an In-N-Out burger, so you can get it like the lettuce wrap only, but then it's got the animal inside. What other secret menus do I know or items?
I realized when I read this that I don't. I mainly know In-N-Out. Like I had a friend who completed a 20x20.
God damn,
like,
baby.
Yeah.
Like, do you just use a knife and fork or a spoon? I don't.
Yeah,
For some reason, I don't
like
get
they
that.
they filmed it. This was like almost 20 years ago, but it was
Okay.
like they just put it in this huge tray, in this huge box, and it was just like it's like cake status. You're just like it's just a burger cake.
It's just what's the boy from Matilda who's just eating?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, the chocolate cake.
oh it's so good.
I like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle from Taco Bell.
What is that?
I don't know that one.
It's when you get it depends if they have it, right? So you ask them for a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, and it's Baja Blast with regular Mountain Dew, so it becomes bright green like the radioactive ooze. From
Interesting.
Teenage Mutant Turtles. That's
Wow.
one. Man, secret.
I didn't know
menu
that
items.
animal fries at In-N-Out were not actually they're considered a secret menu item, but because they're not
Animal
actually
style, yeah.
and that's probably like animal style like burgers and animal
It's the
style
worst
fries.
kept secret.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so good.
Well, there's the protein style, like Tom said, the Flying Dutchman, which is 2 meats with a cheese in the middle, and you just eat it that way. It's like a grilled cheese, but between beef patties.
Meats.
In-N-Out has the most interesting ones, I would think. I know you can ask. This is a stupid one, but you can get like if you get like a egg and cheese McMuffin, you can ask for a hash brown egg and cheese McMuffin, and they'll put the hash brown in it. But like, you could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could do that yourself with the meal you get. So, not a very interesting one, but I know that there's that one.
Yeah.
I mean, because Corey and I have been there now, Howlin' Ray's. It's not really a secret menu item, but you just say like, give me the really hot, which is hotter than their hottest one.
And then they'll ask you, hold on.
Do you die?
Okay.
Yeah. We pretty much, Tom and I did not, the first time we weren't ready for the amount of spice you get with each level.
Yeah.
I think going back we would be, but we were not.
It's pretty
Our expectations
exponential.
were lower than
Yeah.
what we thought. Like I even got the medium,
Yeah.
I think.
I
Or
was
did get the
surprised
hot?
because
You got
I
the extra hot, right?
I got the X hot.
So I
Right.
got regular hot and then I got Dana medium, but I was like not ready.
yeah, I was actually surprised when I got because I'm a spicy boy. I like spice.
Yeah.
And I got their medium because it was my first time and I was like, oh baby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll have to
There's
do a
one-
nerd on what's diet and IRL
Yeah.
Howlin' Rays.
Oh yeah. I'd be down to do the hottest one, just so obviously you have
Do
to
it
have
for the
an idiot
gram
in
and the
video.
YouTubes.
You got to wear gloves.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. There's one that I think that's actually not on the Chipotle menu, but it's kind of common for everywhere else. You go get like a burrito. You could do a quesarito there. So you can do it where they give you an extra piece of the tortilla and they put cheese on it, and then they make the burrito on top of that, so that it's a cheese. It's a flour, cheese, flour, and then all the stuff on the inside. I usually get a quesarito all the time when I go to Taco Bell, and so when we go to Chipotle, it's like quesarito. They're like, it'll take a little bit longer. I'm like, bitch, do you think I got a place to go? So I'm
Just
living,
like
bro.
that. I'm out here living. Next question
Yes,
Yep.
please.
comes from B-Rad. What's a project that was announced and later canceled that you still think about and wish for to this day? I know I still think about David Fincher's Millennium Trilogy and Hideo Kojima's Silent Hills. Hideo?
I went straight for video games.
I have one for a movie.
Okay.
David Fincher, Aaron Sorkin, Steve Jobs movie with starring Christian Bale.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
And Danny Boyle did the best as he could do. Michael Fassbender is a phenomenal actor. It's a great movie. But man, how good would it have been to have that trifecta. Obviously we saw Social Network and how good that movie was, but imagine Christian Bale. Christian Bale and Steve Jobs, baby. Oh my God. I think about that so much. Like, oh man, we were robbed. We were robbed.
We were 100% robbed at that one.
So
That was a rough one. I mean, the first one that comes to mind is it 1313?
Pew pew, right?
Boba Fett's
Mm.
first. It's like a third-person origin RPG game that you could play. It's like one of the big ones that EA canceled that everyone was really upset about, along with Visceral's one that they were coming out with. They even released a trailer at E3 that we saw, and then it got scrapped for no reason because they said people don't play single-player games anymore. But the other one is that Guillermo del Toro one that you showed me, Tom. The playable trailer.
Oh, that's what Brad was talking about. Hideo Kojima's Silent Hills PT.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
And then
I think about that a lot.
And then he ends up making Death Stranding instead. So, but yeah, that was when Konami was like, "Get out of here, Kojima." And it's like, I gave you so much.
I gave you so much.
It's like you wouldn't be on the map if it wasn't for me. Josh, you have any?
The only one that I can think of was the Walking Dead game that Corey and I got to demo.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
It
Overkill's a lot
looked
of
like
them,
it was going to be a lot of fun. But things happen. Licenses happen.
Licenses happen.
I mean, I found out one today, which made me real sad. Big
Oh, no.
Sag. Apparently, there was talk that James Wan was going to do a Trench HBO Max series. And apparently that wasn't the case at all, but it was supposed to be a Black Manta movie. And I
Oh
was like,
shit.
Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, I'm like, would be a leading role in his own movie. And I'd be like, yeah, Warner Brothers hates fucking money sometimes. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ.
So much money.
On top of that, Man of Steel 2, fucking,
Stop talking, Tom.
Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League trilogy.
Canceled movies, right? So Ava DuVernay's New Gods.
Well, any project, TV show, games, anything.
Yeah, any project. Yeah. So it's just like, oh, Jesus Christ, guys.
Yeah, a lot. There's a lot.
So yeah, big Sag. Big Sag.
Big Sag. Next question.
Yeah.
Next question comes from T-Dog8282. What advice would you give to someone planning a cross-country move? Is there any one thing that you just completely didn't think about before moving to California?
Well, I'm from California, but I did live in New York for a while. And the one thing I didn't think about was no In-N-Out Burger.
And Shake Shack is not the same.
I'm not going to spark that debate here, but
no.
I'm from California. I just, the distance is tough, moving to New York, I didn't prepare weather-wise. I'll say that was the biggest one for me. I didn't buy enough cold weather shit and had to scramble once I got there. So know the climate you're moving to.
Yeah.
And be ready for that.
I'm from California as well. I do know people who have moved here from out of California. One person from New York, and he traveled with his cousin, and they drove, and I think they made like a 10-day drive or something like that. And they took
cool.
They took turns, and at a certain point, they just said no more stopping. So I would say just make sure if you're going to go with someone who's willing to go on an adventure with you, you guys are good co-pilots and good traveling partners, because that would be definitely the
a lot of close quarters.
Yeah,
close
Netflix
quarters.
documentary story waiting to happen if you guys aren't. But no, if I could give advice to anyone planning a cross-country move, main thing I would say is just kind of set a plan and then give yourself another 36 hours to break those plans in case something happens. If you need the rest, get some rest. If you're planning on flying, then, obviously it's a lot of shipping and also accounting for the fact that you're not going to get a lot of your stuff for at least another week. I have a friend who just moved to New York, and she, found this place and she got it, but then she couldn't move into it right away. So they're like Airbnb-ing for a while, and then even when they moved into their place, they didn't have other furniture. So they're to me, I would say just plan accordingly, plan ahead of time. Plan until you think there's nothing left to plan some more, and then replan the plan.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good advice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm from California as well. I moved to Seattle, and that the climate thing is real. Like it was like, it gets real cold in the winter. Cool. I think and then when I moved to LA from Seattle, I think the one thing that I would say is that, especially when you're in a new place, a new city that's completely different, I'd say try to have some semblance of a support group, even if it's just like somebody you can call, friends, people that you know, that you can talk to, because you might not have that in the city that you're going to.
Yeah, when you're figuring it out. It took me like 5 years to get friends here.
Yeah.
Like real ones that was like
in LA?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, no. I guess it took me like 4 to really. I mean, like I had friends, but like the friends group that I formed storyboard with and around with, like that didn't come till 3.5 years later.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
nice
found
to have
friends real quick, baby.
Yeah, it's good to have, because
Good for you.
you're going to be tested in terms
Must
of
be
just
nice.
like your just your survivability and just how you handle, because you're not going to know. Like one funny story, when I moved to LA, I was looking for a job. I lived in North Hollywood, and there was a job in Calabasas. No idea that it's like
So far.
it's so far. It's so far.
I would say definitely if you're moving to California specifically, if you're moving to LA specifically, yes. Distance is so relative.
Yeah.
If you move to Sacramento, hey, look, 10 miles, 10 minutes away. 10 miles in LA, that's an hour.
Hollywood's not the same as North Hollywood.
No,
No,
which is
very
not the
different.
same as West Hollywood.
Nope.
Yep.
Greyhound,
So-
it matters.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, God. Yeah, and I mean, for me, moving down from Sacramento to LA, the big thing was making sure, kind of like Josh said, like I had a place to land. So like we had an apartment, and at least it was really easy for me because I was just able to transition right into working right away. And I had a friend here already, and I had roommates I moved in with, and then I started working at my pay the bills job, and that's where I met these two losers, and we became the
So
best of friends. So. I brought everyone together. I am the
Yeah.
avatar. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Tom, you've got the rest of the questions.
I got the rest of the questions.
You
Okay,
do.
cool. So we have a lot of questions. I'm talking
Sweet.
like more questions
Pages.
in here than we actually have in our bank,
Sweet.
which is cool. So the first question, which is actually kind of like it has to be done soon, which is why I think I'm answering it now.
Yeah.
This is from Ethan_who. Early thoughts on Dune. Sneak peek for this week's episode. So let's not spoiler it, but let's just do like a one sentence line.
One sound.
I'm ready.
review.
Blah. That's the sound. No. Who wants to go first?
Josh, you ready?
Yeah, I'll go. Wow. Holy shit. Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
Me.
I'd expect no less.
That's how I feel about.
There's our one sound reviews.
Yes. Josh is the grump. You know what? Hey, you find out, and those votes did come in, and those people who are in the chat who aren't in the Nerd On Nation don't get to vote. So 4 quarters,
Yep.
baby. Next question. This is existential now. MX Raff asks, where do you see your group Nerd On in 5 years? I don't know, in fucking space. Who wants to go first?
Where do we see Nerd On in 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Ruling the world.
Yes, Pinky.
We'll go get that spice flowing, and we'll be in control of the galaxy.
I feel like in 5 years,
Hopefully touring.
will be 5 years older.
Hell
and
yeah.
There will be a
probably have 2
4-year-old
kids.
somewhere. Hopefully in 5 years, I don't already have a divorce.
What?
You know, I feel like that.
Well,
would
Tom
Why?
is the darkest timeline.
Yeah.
I'm the darkest timeline.
Yeah, all the time.
No, I could see us at 2 million downloads at least for a podcast. I could see us at over 100 patrons. I could see us doing live shows at least 3 times a year. And I could see us with probably a slew of new types of videos on our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. Series, different.
And hopefully
series.
we're not fucking wearing masks anymore. Like, and we're all good outside.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much an echo. I mean, I what I see is, going to cons, hosting things there and touring to the different cities. I mean, there are financial goals too in my mind where it's just like, I see us making monies, as hosts, making monies as hosts. Yeah, but everything, what you guys said, I'll take that.
Yeah. Honestly, doing this full time would be dope.
Yeah,
that'd be really good.
that is the dream.
Like and
That's-
review and share with your friends.
That's like my top priority is just have as many partners, sponsors, and patrons where I don't have to go to my job where I feel like a mushed bag of potatoes, not in a good way, like a nasty.
Not
bag
like
of
mashed potatoes way, but
not like good mashed potatoes, not with
Yeah.
like that butter and that
Like
salt.
a sack of potatoes that was left out in the rain for like 4 seasons. They're like, did you guys remember to bring this one in? Which year is this from?
And then
Oh
it
God,
started-
it says 2016 on it.
and then starting to grow sentience on it.
Yeah.
So, next question, Thomas Del Rio, when's the
Mhm.
Nerd On cooking stream?
Oh.
Now, this is the thing. If we set up a cooking stream, I don't know if we do it here like this and we're all just cooking. We all have to get induction burners, or we do it in the studio with Josh, like in that studio, and then we have one induction burner or multiple induction burners, and we're all just cooking there because that's not a freaking kitchen. So we're gonna have to be hobbling back and forth, or we go back to someone else's place that is a little bit more like, honestly, my apartment has got that little island thing, so it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I've
for
seen
like
your
a-
place.
you know,
It'd be a good,
yeah.
like, you could set up cameras and
Yeah. So I mean, I would say that's what we'll figure out the location, figure out what it's going to be. Honestly, I've been wanting to be just like, yo, all y'all been messed up instant noodle. Let me show you how to make it real good. That's
You
it.
just take it out of the packaging dry, put the seasoning on top, and bite.
No. Well, I mean, that's one way. I could do we'll do instant ramen 3 ways.
Yeah.
Here's the cheapest way. Eat it. Here's the ghetto way, the normal way. And then here's like, you got someone coming over. You might want to get a little sexy. So you cook it up.
my cousin, we were playing Back for Blood the other night, and he's like, oh yeah, I just made some ramen like this dope way. And just like the regular old ramen, and he's like, yeah, I put like a scoop of peanut butter and like something else in it. I don't know. I was like, what is happening? He's like, oh yeah, it kind of tastes like you're going to a ramen shop, and it's not the quarter pack of ramen. Like, there's some ways.
That's
yeah.
interesting peanut butter.
Interesting. Yeah. I was like,
Interesting way.
I'll try it. I'm not gonna knock it till I try
I'm all
it.
about peanut butter. Next
Yeah.
question.
Next question. One's from Black Diablo Mamba. Will there be a Nerd on Halloween special? And if there is, what would be your costume and what would you dress up as? So what
Like
would be
if-
your costume that you would dress up as?
Like a live stream special?
I have no idea. I'm just gonna. Yeah. I don't know.
We should have thought about that. That would have been a good idea.
What
Do
would we have done? What
horror
would a
movies or
Nerd on
us.
Halloween special be?
Yeah, it would have to be. What does that look like? I mean, it would have been the horror movies or us for this year.
Yeah.
Could have dressed up in costume for that. We didn't.
Look, y'all.
It's
Listeners.
always next year. It's a good idea. It's a really good idea.
I mean, yeah, I feel like a Halloween movies or us or horror movies or us would be the only kind of special that we would do as a podcast show. I'm seeing in the chat some people are saying a Halloween themed D&D one shot. To
That'd be
me,
cool.
I'm just like, I don't know. I would do like a live commentary of like, let's watch The Thing or Evil Dead. I'm like, this is what good directing is. Even though this movie looks like garbage, this is really good
Back for
directing.
Bloodstream in costume, Josh. You heard it.
Ah. But what would your costume be that you would dress up as?
It's a good one because I want to do Harry and Marv with Mikey from
Mikey
Storyboard.
literally told me that today. He's like, it's never gonna happen.
Why?
Well, he's like, we've been saying that for years.
I've been saying it for 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's out of town this year, so it's technically on
Exactly.
him. But I don't know. I'll go as Timothée Chalamet as Willy Wonka, who's technically Gonzo from the Muppets Christmas Carol, playing Charles Dickens. That's my costume.
There it
Charles
is,
Chickens.
Gonzo.
Josh?
Recently with my hair growing out, I thought Snake Plissken would be a cool costume. I got to get an eye patch and some dope costume. Yeah, he wears really cool clothes. I'm like, man, he is so dope. But I've been thinking about Snake Plissken. I think that would be a fun costume.
I could bring back my Colonel Mustard costume. I literally bought a mustard bottle outfit and then just put medals on it.
Wow.
Mustard.
For me, I mean, I have quite some options now. I could do a Slytherin. I could do a Deadpool. I feel like Deadpool is like always the one where everyone's like, to me it impresses myself the most because it's like, oh, this is actually like a full on suit,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks good, and it's got the gloves and the boots and all.
You
this
just don't
stuff.
want to see how much he sweats under that mask, man.
Well, the thing is, I need to get the better mask, and the better
Yeah.
mask costs like $175.
Didn't you get to talk to Rob Liefeld in that?
I got to take a picture with him, and I have a signed poster from him because of that, which was so
Yeah.
dumb.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to dress
Pretty
the
sweet.
part. But yeah, I mean, I would probably do Deadpool just because also it's kind of comfy. The one thing, man, it is also like a romper where you're just like, I gotta take this off to go pee. So
Yeah.
there's not a nice little pee zipper. Next question.
Next question.
From Gamer Fuji.
Gamer Fuji.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
I got a question.
Julie.
What's an episode topic you've already covered that you would love to revisit or felt like you didn't have enough time to talk about? Lord of the Rings and The Thing are not options. I don't know why.
Dirty laundry.
I don't know why
Dirty
she said
laundry.
that.
Dirty laundry. Because I would have said Lord of the Rings.
No, I'm kidding. No, I added those last two parts.
Oh. I was like, Julie knows me. Dirty laundry. Dirty laundry. The Punisher short. 100%. Yeah, Julie's yelling at you in the chat now. That's the one I would love to go back and redo. To be honest with you.
Oh, actually, it says here also, Big Lebowski is not an option.
No, okay.
So Dirty Laundry for Corey. What about you, Josh?
I'm thinking. I mean, I honestly like sometimes because now some of our episodes are pretty old in a sense, like 3 or 4 years old. It'd be interesting to visit some of the older topics, like some of the early MCU movies that we covered, just like retrospectively of like, oh, what do we think of them now, and that kind of thing. We have a huge catalog.
Oh man, I tell everyone that on my first date.
Yeah, you have a huge
I have a huge
catalog of episodes for my podcast.
But small dictionary, you know what I'm saying? I would say for me I would say one that I could talk about more is probably it's probably The Mummy. I think about it. I'm like, you know what? I think about The Mummy. It's not so old, but also it's a little new. It's a little newer. I think it was definitely in like the year 2 or 3. But first year ones, I don't know what else to go. Like we were
Doesn't
so
have
young.
to be first year.
We didn't even know. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Yeah. So those are our options. Josh, you said like an early MCU movie. Do you have one?
Yeah,
in
maybe. I
particular?
mean, it's hard to think because sometimes when we have those episodes, I mean, I think that what Corey said, Dirty Laundry would be a great one. There's some episodes that I know that we as a crew have walked away and gone, that could have been a stronger episode.
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, that would have been Mantle.
Mantle.
There's just some episodes.
Green Lantern.
Well, no, but the Black Panther I would like to redo because I thought I was having a heart attack.
Oh,
through the whole
yeah.
thing. If you go back and listen to that episode, I think I barely talked because the whole time I was just sitting there with my hand like this, like looking off to the side. I had heart palpitations for like 2 weeks due to stress, and
that was only 2 weeks. I felt
dying.
like it went on for a little bit longer.
Maybe it did. It still happens now, but it was like
Yeah.
a consistent 2 week, like every day and night for 2 weeks.
I felt like it was
pretty
going on
consistent.
forever for me.
Yeah. Thanks,
I'm
Tom.
kidding.
Thanks, friend.
Let's do. Man, there's so many questions that are kind of like.
Bradley P says, "Have you ever considered doing reactions?"
I have so many questions. I'm trying to pick.
I'm
the
just saying
Halloween.
we do that on our YouTubes now.
Oh, you mean? Well, I think they were talking about like Bradley P was talking about like full movies, like commentaries, and like so you
like
get,
Mystery
you get it
Science
all.
Theater style.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure because I know a friend who also podcasts and they do like full movie, and I'm just like,
And it's more
How do
like
you-
audio commentary that you might find.
yeah,
on a
I don't think
DVD
they're
where
like,
it's like
you know, I don't think they're like MST where they're like making fun of it or making jokes, but I think they're like legit talking about it. Like I was just like, I don't know. To me, as someone who watches movies, I find that so hard to concentrate.
yeah.
If there's so many, do we want to try to get through all the Halloween ones since I think this will be the last Monday before
Yeah.
Halloween's over?
Let's do it.
So let's go through not Johnny Horror. If you have been in a fun haunted Halloween trail, which one was your favorite?
It's a Halloween trail.
You could go. There's one that I was thinking about going to. There, I think it's like Jack's Patch. It's up in I think Calabasas or something like that. So it's about 40 minutes away, and it's literally like just like this 3/4 of a mile. It's like this just imagine Descano Gardens with like Halloween style though.
Oh,
like,
Descanso
that's kinda
Gardens is a
nice.
good one.
I've never been on that. Anything like that.
Well, someone hasn't taken you on a nice date sometimes, Corey. Maybe I
Gone
should take
through a
you.
lot of haunted houses, but never a haunted trail.
Is this where you and I are? Was that what's happening? We're all gonna go on a fucking date and we're gonna do these trails.
I'm in.
Okay. Josh, do you have one?
Now that I think about it, the closest thing that I ever got to, and this is kind of cheating because I worked there, but I was a scare actor at Universal Studios one year, and I was on there like because they had their haunted houses, but they also had kind of their trail thing that you would go up and through these different like sets these elaborate things that they did, and I got to walk it one night, like when I was like mid shift or something like that, and I was like, "This is pretty dope. This is pretty cool."
You got the little broken. You got the destroyed plane. You got my.
I was in the destroyed plane area.
Yeah, you got a good old Jason Bates, right?
Mhm.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Talking about, yeah.
Yeah, a little psycho house.
Bates Motel.
Yeah.
Bates Motel. You got Bates Motel. So I mean, you got a lot there.
Yeah, I have PTSD from that place.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, me too. So, but it's the only experience that I have.
Next, a Halloweeny kind of question. Decide who. Oh, this is from Mamba. Decide who's player 1 in your post-apocalyptic world where zombies have populated the world. Choose your character class and 3 weapons of choice. Now, for each new person, you need to choose a new class and weapons, but you cannot choose what the previous person has had. That's a multi-layered, faceted,
Wow.
universe-ending question.
Wow.
So who wants to be player 1? You kind of get the choice of whatever you want. Josh, why don't you go? You're president. Number 1.
I would probably be like a DPS, and I'd probably focus on assault rifle, SMG, and then I'd want to make sure that I had a melee weapon. So probably, I don't want to take what Corey might take as a melee, so I'll just say a machete.
Okay. Now for each new person, you need to choose a new class and weapons. Oh, so what's a class? I'll be a fucking tank. I'll be armored the hell up. I don't want any parts of my skin showing at all.
You've got like
you won't even see
recycled
my
like SWAT gear, like covering every.
Well, like I'd even go like World War Z where I have tape covering my joints, like just to make sure that's covered. And I would go shoddy with the little hand and the handgun, so with 3 weapons, and then a bat. Like no bat with the spikes, that's stupid. Just a regular bat, like that could just like bludgeon, get people out of my way. It gives me some distance. It won't get stuck in anything. Just a nice blunt bat. That's wood. I don't want a. It might swell up. Let's do aluminum. Let's do aluminum. Yeah. So a tanky boy, shoddy, handgun, and a bat. That's it. So Corey, you're next.
You got a handgun too?
Well, that's like my side weapon. It's in case like
so we all get a handgun, I'm assuming then.
Well, it says 3 weapons of choice. Now each person they have to choose new weapons, so you can't choose what the previous person chose.
So what kind of handgun are you going to go with then? So I can choose my handgun, just to follow the rules.
Fine. I'll choose if I can't I'll choose like a normal
like a Beretta. I don't know guns, so
a normal
right,
gun.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do my favorite role then, which is the support role. So I'll be carrying all
we'll
the
be fine
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'll do a sniper rifle. I'll do some sort of automatic handgun on the side, so I could be bandaging people up. But I can also be like just picking people off as I go. And then as Josh knows, my melee weapon would be
crowbar.
100%.
It's a multi-purposed weapon.
It's the only weapon I absolutely need in the zombie apocalypse is a crowbar. I want more, obviously, but
yeah.
How much time? We got one more question?
Yeah, let's do one more.
One last question. Let's see what we got. Okay. This is also for Mamba. Mamba's got all of the Halloween-y questions.
Mamba.
I'll tell you that. Everyone else, all your questions will be answered, I promise, but we want to make sure that this is kind of like still pertinent to the holiday season, since all of you guys are kind of for all seasons. So Mamba, which scary movie killer would you immediately run away from and explain why?
Which movie killer would you run away from and explain why? Got all of them?
Which serial killer would you
immediately
I'll tell you right now.
Run from?
I'll tell you right now, I won't run away from Michael.
Okay.
Michael's a little bitch. And everyone doesn't know how to run, and he's just a man. He's just a man. He's just a man.
Tom's so tough.
Isn't Tom cool?
Jason has proven that he doesn't die. So like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like.
Isn't he in space now?
He came back.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Cool. Who had to run away from? Leatherface. Easy. Hell no, because he actually runs.
But he's just a man. He's just a man.
He has a chainsaw.
But he has a chainsaw and he runs at you. Michael, Jason, none of them run after you. Freddy, I'm gonna be like, hey man, you in my dreams. You trying to get?
I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me. You're locked in here with
me. Trying to get freaky or what? He's like, no. That's what's gonna happen.
Leatherface was definitely like, I was like, Leatherface.
Leatherface is.
I mean, that's a really, because I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's a really good one. Let me think.
It's a really, really good one.
What about Ghostface?
No.
What about Jigsaw?
Jigsaw.
What about
I think when you're seeing Jigsaw, that you're already. It's too late.
Yeah, you see the pig face.
You're already in.
You're playing the game, man.
What about Chucky?
Oh yeah, no, I'm out.
Oh,
I'm out.
Peace.
What about
Pennywise?
I know what you did last summer. Oh, Pennywise.
I actually watched that.
Freaks me out.
I know what you did last summer, and I was like, oh, it's a man. It's a man.
It's just a man.
What
do you want from us?
He's a mad man's.
Yeah. That okay, cool. So wait.
Yeah, Pennywise
for Corey, Chucky for Josh, and Leatherface for Tom. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I mean, to me, Chucky, I'm fine. It's a doll. I throw your ass. I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? I know, Josh. You're
Yeah,
terrified.
if I open up my front door and there's a fucking clown standing out there, I'm out.
Peace.
I'm not even afraid of clowns, but that's haunting.
We have one little suggestion from the chat. What about Emotep? He's just trying to get Bay. He's trying to get his boo boo. I'll be like,
Not
hey
really
man,
trying to kill anyone.
I ain't even open your chest. I knocks on the moon. She out there. You'll get her. I believe in you.
You out here living.
Yeah, he's just trying to be out here living. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's this week's update. Everybody at home, thank
We
you so
did it.
much for listening. If you're listening on your favorite podcast app or watching on either YouTube or live on Twitch, nerdon.tv/Twitch on Mondays, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're new to us, if you're new to us, check out our website, nerdon.tv. It has all of that information, all of our housekeeping, all of the links. Check that out. One specific call out, do consider joining the Nerd On Nation. It does allow us to grow. It does allow us to get to that place that we were talking about full time. It helps to upgrade our content and do this more often. I say this almost every episode. Rate, review, share us with your friends and family. That kind of stuff.
4 quarters, baby.
That kind of stuff really does help us grow. So please do share us with your friends. But yeah, that's it. That's all the housekeeping. Thank you so much for being you. Take care of yourselves. We appreciate you. You know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on.